are here.
We're
We
live.
are live. All right. Welcome to the latest edition of Climbing Out the Podcast. I am your host, Erica Alston Buck, with my beautiful co-host, Miss Tina DeVoe.
Yes.
And we are continuing our series on data analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight's topic is red flags and toxic behaviors, because we all know that Tina is the queen of catching red flags, and all of my flags are pink.
Your color ain't never accurate.
Like all those flags. I want to ride that ride.
Here I go. Oh no. Let me get my stuff out. I gotta go.
Tina out of there. I'm like, oh, we can do this for another 30 days.
No, we cannot.
No.
We
And if
cannot.
you're watching and that has been your experience with me, them days is over. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm a pretty smart girl. And you know what, Tina? I need to share this because I have been successful in most areas of my life. Like, I'm good. And I think because of my perfectionist and my absolute fear of failure, and what may look like failure to other people, I hold on and I try when people like you are willing to let go and go, because I'm like, damn, another failed one, because I know that I absolutely, I don't know if I can say absolutely, many times I have shown up as the best version of myself, but and like in my marriage, I know that I did everything I was supposed to do. And when I was incapable of doing anything else, I sought therapy for us. Right. So I know, like, I didn't walk away from my marriage going, and I walk away knowing that I did the absolute best that I could there. And I show up that way in my relationships. And sometimes it's in spite of red flags. Yeah. So this is a good conversation for us. But we're going to recap our week. And as our producer is posting comments and questions, I need to point out that if you can see, I'm in a different space tonight. So I'm going to need you, Tina, to read the comments because I can't see them.
Okay.
For questions. Okay.
Somebody in the chat said, hello, beautiful queen. So hello.
Oh, hello there. Hello there. Yeah, I'll take that. I think it's been a crazy couple of days.
It has been. Would you like to share?
So what I need to say to anyone that's watching, the theme has always been date them all, sis, but may the best man win. And we tend to leave that part out because date them all, sis. And Tina, did I tell you these people saying that to me in public?
Right.
I need y'all to not see me in public on a date and say date them all, sis. What?
You be looking like, what they talking about?
What is that?
He's like, don't worry about it.
And the last one was a man. A man did that hating that shit.
Wow. We'll start the game. Sir, move on.
Okay. My name is Erica, and it's fine to say hello, Erica. How are you? I follow your show or whatever, but come on. Right. However, so I mentioned people watching and who have followed us and know our stance on relationships and marriage are gonna be like, what? So my last conversation with my good girlfriend Tina was like, you know what? We split this place tonight. Because Tina's all like, I want to be married. And I'm like, F them all. Tina's like, oh, I'm looking for forever. And I'm like, I'm looking for right now. Next. And it's so funny that the reason that I'm like that, because we just last week talked about me needing to have found the male version of myself.
Yeah.
And so I date many people because there hasn't been one comprehensive person to give me everything I'm looking for.
That's what dating is. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to date to find someone that works for you. Yeah.
Your person. You're dating to find your person. So, and although I'm not the red flag indicator light person. I do have a very short tolerance for nonsense. It's not like I get in this junk and be like, oh, I'm gonna stay here forever. I'll be like, oh, that flag was red.
Meanwhile, I'm three states over. I didn't move there. I'm like, girl, I told you that in January. What are you talking about? Right.
So, and it's funny because because of what I do and like who I am, how I do things. So we talked about the corporate guy loves me. I fit the part because he catches me in St. John's, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And he likes that.
And you know what? But he does not know that I'll throw this shit in my trunk and pull out some hooping shorts and a Gucci t-shirt and some sneakers and
right.
You know, so he doesn't feed that part of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the third thing is that I'm a parent, right? I am a parent. My children are adult. Kiri's 18. Much as I don't want her to be an adult, my children are adults, but I am still an actively engaged mom and grandma. My daughter's in college. She's on the track team. I got track meets to go to. I got fashion shows to go to. My kids call morning, noon, night. I gotta go. And we talked about this a little earlier. So men who've never been married and don't have children, I'm not attracted to. One, if you're 50 and never been married and don't have children, nobody's ever wanted to keep you. And so that's a red flag for me. And then you don't have children. No one even wanted to trap you. Right?
You wasn't even worth. Okay, let me say this though. I'm okay with the man not having kids because part of that is responsibility. Like you didn't do the whole baby mama thing. You wanted to marry thing, so I can go with them on that. However,
well, 1 minute, Tina. I don't know if it's your sound for me, Andrea. Are we hearing Tina fine?
I can hear you fine.
You sound robotic to me.
Oh.
Can someone comment if you can hear Tina fine?
Let me keep talking. I'll keep talking and then I'll wait to see what pops up. So for the not having kids, it's like you don't want to punish a man for being responsible, right? We got homes and all that. So that I celebrate. But I do wonder, like, how did you make it to 50?
Yeah.
No kids, because at that point there is a little bit of a question of, did you choose anybody? You know, have you? And some guys when they're in the 50s, they'll tell you that they've been engaged, before. And it was.
I just had one of those. The dude that I went to dinner with in Philadelphia, he'd never been married, never had any kids. He'd been engaged. He was very selective about, who was going to be the mother of his children. I get that. I don't want you.
That part's not I think it's when they're together that it's like.
Yes.
Like, well, dad, like what? And then most of those guys, I mean, they latch on so fast that you're like, wait, well, hold on, like, calm down. And I'm like, I get it. Your whole life has gone by, and you haven't felt the unconditional love of a child, and you've never settled into a relationship and shared a home and shared dreams and purpose in the form of commitment. So I get it. You finally get in something, and you're ready. Maybe now you're ready for whatever your life was doing. Now you're ready. Well, baby, we've been out here for a minute and it's been a mess. So we ain't jumping into. I feel like they pull on me to help feed their need, and then none of mine are met. So it's like, oh my God, this is wonderful. This is what. Oh my God, this is great. It's great. And I'm like,
and now I'm all worn out and tired and overwhelmed. But
tired, like. Okay, well, I'm glad you're having a good time because it was good for me for like the first 30 days.
Yeah.
It might have even rolled into 60. And then by then I was looking like, wow, okay, well, I'm not interested anymore. Like it's too much work because you've been lacking something for like 20 years. I can't come fill that space. Like that's too much. I'm the risk taker. So I didn't bungee jumped and like, I've been wrapped in snakes. Like I love adventuring.
Not wrapped in snakes.
Yeah,
Like,
I've done like crazy things, and I even more crazy things. But for someone who's introing in, it just sometimes feels like that's too much.
And I believe like men who don't have kids are also missing some sense of like they need to be able to understand that I've got to go. I'm unavailable for my kids. Like men can understand you're busy and unavailable for work.
Right.
So a couple of dudes back, he had been married in his 20s, married to some supermodel in New York, but didn't have any kids, and he was almost 60. And we were dating at the time when my mom was diagnosed with cancer, and my daughter had been diagnosed with MS. As a result of him not having children, and he couldn't he couldn't support me. It was weird. It was weird. Like that was a lot at one time. And I think when we're dating, like men who proclaim to be these alpha men and protectors and providers, and I think when they use those words, they don't understand that provision is just not about money, right? Yeah, that's huge. And men, they throw that provider around thinking that we're looking for them to provide us with finances. Provision takes on so much more for women who've got their own.
And let me tell you this, when I think about provision, I think about how much peace are you providing for me? How much time? Like, have you added time? Have you taken something off my plate?
How much easier are you making my life?
Yeah, like what are you offering? Like that's providing. Like what's the safe space? Like
what have I walked away learning having been in your company? Like what information have you provided me? What enlightenment have you? And I'm so glad we're talking about this, because there are so many successful men who believe that providing is about money. And for people like us, it's the last thing on the list.
Yep. Kanika King, she said emotional support. Absolutely.
You know what, Kanika, I'm so glad you said that, because I am absolutely 100%, I've said this before, happy being single until I've had a long, hard day and I am driving home to my empty house and no one is there to give me a kiss on the forehead and say it's going to be okay. Like, I'm like, fuck this cat.
And you know what? And the other part about that too, with your kids being grown, see, you should drive home and go to your next job. Kid. So like, oh, okay, you do that. You gotta do homework. You cleaning up, cooking, like whatever. So by the time you finish that, you fall asleep and you're out, and then it's time for the day. Now we come home to an empty house, and you be coming through the door like. Now let me say this: I'm not complaining, because
I was gonna say the same thing.
I'm about to say I'd rather be empty than being here with a food. Like
with a dang food.
Right. Somebody said peace is most valuable thing, and providing often means control.
Good job. My therapist gave me that. He said one of the reasons I was unsuccessful in my relationship because of the type of successful men that I date, who believe that they get, one side of me and think that they can control the other. Yeah. Oh, she's beautiful. She's smart. She can do this. When she gets with me, she won't want to, Yeah. Thank you for that. Control is huge.
That's really good. I was going to say, now I'm thinking back on people that I've dated. I don't think I've ever ran into the control issue. I think I've ran into the issue where they don't want to get out of the box.
Right.
And so they're trying to convince me not to get out of the box. And then I'll be like, okay, well, I'm going to go do what I told you I was going to do. And then I'll be right back. Like, just because you don't want to do it doesn't mean I can't,
Right.
I don't think I've ever, my mouth is probably too slick for anybody to try the control thing. Like, I don't know.
So back to my week with your mouth being too slick.
I'm waiting for you to share with the people. That's what I'm like, come on, stay on topic, baby.
So I'm going to go back to us saying that I needed the male version of me. And today I was with my family and I said to them, I'm
no, you can't just jump in like that. Like, go back. That is Start from the beginning. That's not enough.
So you know what? Alex is crying, guys. Look at Catrice. Come on. Why you? So I am officially off the market, and I'm gonna walk off the camera with that. Hold him down.
Did she just say she is off? Okay, first of all, let's calm down. Don't try to go getting too excited because we don't know that she's off the market. Like she met somebody. It's the male version of her. I'm all in favor. Like I even think it's a good match, but off the market. I mean, maybe off the market is really just like, okay, off the market could be good because now you're not going on other dates. So off the market may be oh, I'm worried. This is a lot. Excuse me, y'all. This is a lot. Okay. Off the market means she's not taking any phone calls. You can't ask her on a date. She's not in her DMs. I mean, do y'all understand what off the market means? Like, off the market means like you kind of feel like this is your person. I mean, okay. Yeah, Catrice, that's what I'm saying. Off the market is it's a big deal for Erica because Erica dates, often. So for her to say she's off the market, and I know why she wants to be off the market, but ooh, baby, I don't know. You said, Tina, you hear that? I don't hear anything. How dare she leave? Right? How dare she leave us out here? Yes, we need guidance, and we need you to be involved, and we're not gonna be able to trust nothing you say if you're about to be booed up, because we can't count on that. We need you over here. We all decided that we're not locking into nothing until we all agree. But I mean, if you want to, if you just made an announcement that you're off the market, so I just want to clarify what off the market means. And so I had to dial back a little bit because off the market for you is different from off the market for me, right?
No, it ain't.
Oh, you are off the market.
You know what? So, I'm just having technical difficulties. So
I wasn't ready for that. I was not ready for that. I was not.
Tina, I think when
you want to know you're off the market, like you might be giving them too much too soon.
No.
Off the market, like if he proposed.
So I'm not dating anyone else.
That's what I was getting ready to clarify.
Okay. Yes, right. Yes. No, ain't no ring on no fingers.
Right. So I said she's not gonna be in her DM. She's not taking new dates.
No.
Yeah.
She's absolutely not.
Like walking off camera. That's Erica. She be as random as ever.
So okay. So let's do this. I am 51 years old. Right?
Are you 51?
Girl, yeah, I'll be 52 this year.
Did I miss your birthday? Your 50th birthday?
Yes, COVID did it.
Oh,
I turned 50 in 2020. And then I said, okay, I'll turn 50 again in 2021 and then Omicron came and took that. My birthday's in December. So yep.
Yeah.
So I'll be 50 again. And just so I can have a 50th birthday party. I'll be like 50.
So if you're 51, I'm 43 years apart.
Yes.
Okay.
So back to, not to be so random and I'm off the market. I think I was trying to talk about, again, I'm at Andrea's house, so doors are opening and stuff. The reason why, because we were talking about why we date them all. The reason that you're dating is we're all looking for our person, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone is just randomly, just willy-nilly, just.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Regardless of what our mouths say, like date them. Each time I'm on a date, I'm like, could I do this for longer than 6 dinners? No. So let me go to 6 dinners. Or whatever that number is.
I say, could I do this for 6 dinners? No. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
No, I'm like, where are we going to eat next? I just know that I don't want to be with you longer than that or for more than that. One, you're not going to get none, and we're going to have 6 good meals.
Definitely not gonna get none.
So, so I date a person, and I'm thinking, okay.
Okay, get to the person to person. Come on, girl, with the story. Tell the people.
So this is so random. So I go to an event, right? And I'm not invited, people. I see that there's an event, and I haven't been out alone, socially, professionally, you know. So I see an event, and I go, oh, I'll go to this event. So I call one of my girlfriends, and we go to the event. And when someone that I, you know, have a relationship with and support was being honored, I said, oh, I'll go and I'll show up there. And got there, and the hostess thought it was a good idea to tell me that the VIP section was closed.
Because it's never closed.
And I needed to be seated at a regular table. I said, one moment, ma'am. I'm going to go.
Somebody said, is this an opportunity to cultivate romance or what?
Dating? Absolutely.
Is this an opportunity? Is he talking about the show or this is T Thames 308? Thames, you gotta clarify. We don't understand the question. Okay, clarify and then we'll come back to you. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So I tell the hostess, I'm sorry, ma'am, I will not be sitting out here at a table. Let me go over to VIP. So I go over there and I go to the host and I'm like, hey, they said that I can't come back here. And he looks around and he says, hey, can you move over? Can you move over? And he makes some arrangements. And me and my girlfriend sit. And there's a gentleman there. And and I purposely sit. You know, she's in between us. And but we caught eyes immediately. I see you, so I'm purposely not sitting next to you. No. And we talk around her. Like I'm
right.
And she says, should I move? And he says, absolutely. So she moved. And Tina, I told you, so I'm going to tell you guys what I told Tina. It was the most organic, natural, that level of familiarity and comfort. It was fucking strange. So I'm sitting next to someone that I don't know, but it feels like I've known you forever.
Forever, yeah.
Forever, right? And we cut up the entire time. We're getting eyes and we're getting shushes and like we had. So when we talk,
I know who you talking about, so I can verify. I'm like, yep, I know y'all was cutting up.
But every week I talk about funny and smart. They meant things, right? So we're sitting there because I only believe that you can be funny. Either you're a stupid clown or you got to be smart.
Oh, William Honolulu, he said, what made it comfortable?
Oh, thank you for that. His presence. He has a very comforting presence. Like he's a big guy too. I'm tiny. He's a big guy. So there was that comfort, right? There was that comfort. But there was also like, we were even touchy-feely. Like someone pointed out days later that I had laid my head on his shoulder.
And you don't even remember.
Nope. So it's that kind of, that's weird. Like you don't mean, right? So I'm going, wait a minute, these wigs cost a bit, first of all.
Right.
Laying on people's shoulders. So it was that level of comfort. It was really strange. And the touchy-feely. As open and as public as I am, I'm not out in these streets letting strange men.
Yeah.
You know, but I did that, right? So we did that. And then the event was ending and we went somewhere else. And then we went somewhere else. Strangely familiar. No, but it was like,
oh wow, women like big guys. Good news. Yes, listen.
Yes, you're talking to two. Wait a minute, I didn't even know I did. I didn't know I did something else.
To a big
I know that's your shit, right?
That's my thing. Like the taller, the big. I mean, not, you know, but I love a 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah. And I didn't know. Who's that? I think he's elaborating on his question.
In an exclusive relationship, in order to cultivate a stronger level of authentic romance that includes trust and open, honest communication.
Absolutely.
Absolutely agree.
We absolutely agree.
Absolutely agree.
So hence me not being exclusive with anyone. That trust and comfort, and I have not been presented with anyone that I've been trusting with me. And that's the trust. I'm not, it's not about trusting you or what you do outside, or it's trusting you with all of me.
Yeah, that's good.
So my dating all has been, I trust you a little bit, I trust you a little bit, but to finally be somewhere where I trust you with all of me, like you get to see the Erica not on TV, the Erica that used some colorful words, the Erica that throw up gang signs and rap trap music on her way to Target. What?
I don't know about your gang
what?
signs.
Look, let my roof be off my car.
That's a new thing. You too old to be doing that. Knock that off. I'm like, gang signs. I want you to try.
What is certified?
So if you do that, like that means you in or something.
He got look. Look, where DC Tina? I need Tina for DC. Which yet?
We do gang signs in DC. We ain't do no gang signs.
So that happened, and me being all of me, right? The next day, he's like, whatever he says. So I tell him, look, tomorrow, don't hit me with that good morning, beautiful text message. You know, we ain't gotta do all that stuff.
Right.
So the next day, I text him, good morning, beautiful. You ain't never nobody like me. So he's all, he calls me, and I'm like, yo, why are you calling me in the daytime? We don't do this. I'll talk to you later. And he asked me out to dinner the next night. So we went to dinner the next night. And we went to dinner the next night. And we went to dinner the next night. Mm-hmm. First off, I've seen this man more than I've seen somebody I dated for 6 months. Because I'll date you living in Philadelphia and see you every other weekend. And I'm good. But so early, Tina, and you said this because you talk about expectations and the conversations you have, and that's never been my thing. So we had the conversation. He's like, look, I'm grown, you grown. I don't want to do this nowhere else. You want to do this somewhere else? I'm like, no. And that shit fell out my mouth. I was like, who said that?
My teaching is finally rubbing off for you. Finally. Just talk. Open your mouth. We can have adult conversations right away because we're all grown. Like this whole waiting period of, well, when do you talk about money and when do you talk about? We just talked about that on our first show. Like, you talk about marriage in the beginning.
In the beginning. Look, because he's messed up some places with some people. I've done the same. Like he's saying, like, let's get this one right. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So I'm not dating anyone else.
Okay, but wait. Are you saying you're not dating anyone else? And have you confirmed that you all are dating?
Yes, we confirmed that he and I are dating exclusively.
Ladies and gentlemen, she has left the building. She is no longer for the streets. She is no longer for the streets. She's not available.
I'm so excited.
You should be. I'm excited for you.
I was leaving the other day and I was like, I think I like having a boyfriend. I texted him.
You said you think you like having a boyfriend? You called him your boyfriend?
Yes. And check it out because it was something, again, strangely familiar. I was leaving his house and I remember, like, you met the last relationship I was in and we were good. But whatever we were was not what we are. And this, I love that.
And I always told you, I believe in love at first sight. I don't think that now I'm cool with the long. Oh wait,
yeah.
we're gonna get to you. He put up and said, "Why has it been difficult to trust?" We'll go back to that as soon
Okay.
as we finish this part. I believe that you can meet somebody and know right away.
Mhm.
1,000%. You can be
I
married.
think I knew that moment I was seated next. I might have known when we made eye contact when
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
trying to
yeah,
be
yeah.
seated.
I believe in that, but I think that you have to have dated.
Yes. So
I
I
don't.
didn't get here overnight, although it seems
Yes.
like you guys have
The
been following me
the
because
more
you've
you.
seen what I've put up with.
That's why I wanted to
Struggled
tie
with.
it back to. I wanted to tie it back to
Yeah.
date them all, sis, because that's the advantage to dating them all is that you. And if you keep dating, even you evolve, you grow. You know,
Absolutely.
there are things that I thought I would have tolerated in my 30s. Now that I'm in my 40s, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
We ain't gonna be able to do that.
as I'm heading into my 50s, I'm like, yeah, I'm even less, on that. So we, you're allowed to evolve
Mm-hmm.
and grow. I think that what's exciting about this is that I know both of you
Yes.
and you are exactly alike. I mean,
And
literally
it's so strange.
the craziest thing, but I see the adventure, I see the spontaneity, I see you're both alpha. That's gonna work beautifully because
Mm-hmm.
I have to back down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm excited. Now, William put up there, why does it take so long to trust? I'm gonna answer it first.
Okay.
It doesn't take me long to trust. I trust you the day I meet you
Yes.
instantly,
Yeah.
because I have no reason not to trust you.
Yeah.
If we've met and I've given you my phone number, then I've, said, oh, okay, this is somebody I'm interested in. I'm gonna give you so I'm giving you a number. I'm trusting you, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she put his question back up. But because the trust is given up front, I need you to value it up front.
Yeah.
So when I start talking about red flags, and FYI, I'm not off the market. I just want to clarify some things. Of course, there's anybody watching, I'm on Instagram, you can DM me after the show. But anyway, I always say I give it because I don't have a reason not to trust you. You haven't done anything, so it's like you're at 100, right?
Yeah.
But I have met guys and dated. I don't know, dated, but gone out. I've dated and gone out with guys, and when I see the red flag, I don't ignore the red flag ever. I am like, I might as well be the red flag monitor.
Okay. Name a couple of red flags.
Okay, so a guy I dated, we've been talking back. Well, we were trying to date, but we were talking back and forth. We're, in communication. We're doing well. I'm supposed to come in town for the weekend. Randomly, the day before I'm supposed to come, he cancels the trip with something happening with his boss, and the schedule's gonna be weird, and he's not gonna be around, and the whole thing was just really weird, right? So I just said, well, that's just weird. Like, I'm just coming to chill out. I'm not trying to like be in your space. Just, I was coming, and he immediately turned it into an argument. So I recognize that because there's no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no reason just to argue. And as he's turning into an argument, he's yelling. Right? So, you know me, I'm not a yeller. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
I just had the same conversation. We are so alike in that. I'm not fighting with you. I'm
like,
not
so I'm just letting him go, like just get it all out. And then I stopped and I said, are you done? And he was like, yeah. And I said, well, first of all, I'm not quite sure why you're yelling, because I have to you, you cancel plans on me, which is fine, no big deal. But this part is over. Like, we're done. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, because you're yelling. And he was like, well, it's not that I'm yelling at you. I'm just speaking passionately.
No, don't raise your voice.
Let me tell you, you don't have to slap me in my face for me to call it abuse.
Yeah.
You're not going to verbally abuse me. You're not going to verbally abuse me, physically abuse me, mentally abuse me, spiritually. Whatever passion you got going on, somebody didn't teach you how to maintain it. So for me, it's a red flag. So if we're in early stages of dating and you go off and zap off, I'm out.
Yeah.
Because you're too old to not be able to
control yourself.
And I don't even know what you're yelling about, because you're the one who was wrong. I didn't I didn't. So now I got manipulation in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, he's doing so. That's why I say when I see red flags, I'm definitely going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's bothering me. This is concern. I'm going to point it out. Boom, boom, boom. And then I'm out. If the red flag is a red flag for me.
For
now,
you. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Because you could meet somebody, you say, well, you know, he drinks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, somebody who drinks doesn't bother me because
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily drink a lot, but I drink often.
Right.
I mean, multiple times throughout the week, I'm going to have a drink.
Yes.
Drinking wouldn't bother me, but for somebody who's really not a drinker, if they saw a guy that drank a lot, they may be like, that's a red flag. And whatever that red flag is attached to, it could be attached to your father drinking, beat your mother.
It's a red flag for you.
It's just a red flag, and you can just say no. So that's a red flag. And then the toxic behavior of the breakup. The one toxic behavior I don't like is the breaking up and making up. Like, if you ever break up with me,
you've broken up with me.
And I heard you. I heard you very clearly.
And then I heard the reason that you broke up with me, and that didn't go away.
Because I'm a great listener.
Yeah.
I heard.
I don't do that.
And so I have broken up with guys, and guys have broken up with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they come back, I don't know why you back. Like, because nothing's different. Like, if you don't say something new,
yeah,
you got the same.
It's funny. I had that conversation tonight, and someone said that the last person they were with kept breaking up and getting back together. I don't understand that.
No, I think it's silly.
We break up one time because for whatever reason you decide that we're breaking up, it's a valid reason for you. It's a valid reason for me. I am breaking up with you because of X, Y, Z. And has X, Y, and Z changed?
Right. So my now I will say this: there are two guys that I probably wanted to come back to me. Right now, I mean, I know now that it wasn't.
Right. I'm trying to think about ever wanting somebody back.
Yeah, but if I thought about that, I'm like, there's two, and in my mind, I'm thinking they did attempt to come back, but they didn't come back with anything new. So see, once you say you're sorry, then there's the whole thing of the changed behavior.
Right.
So we should be saying a lot of different things, because otherwise you're asking me to jump back in the same relationship with the person I just left. So did you go to counseling? You know, like I need to know what's different. Like I don't know, because I'm
so in the event that there was something that was therapy based, perhaps I've never experienced that, because I've never seen anybody be accountable for anything to the level that they would go to counseling and come back and say, you know what, I've been in therapy, I'm addressing this behavior, let's try again. I ain't never experienced that. People I break up with for being crazy, still crazy.
Listen, I seen Tune on the internet tonight. I said, still crazy.
Still crazy.
Still crazy.
And leave me alone. Like I had someone not too long ago inbox me in my DM and asked to go to lunch. Now there's somebody I dated a long time ago asked me for lunch, and I sent back question marks.
Somebody said, how do you take chill out times in exclusive relationships? That's a good question.
Let me show you.
No, I'm not going to show you. But because I believe you could show you my yoga mat. My chill out time is my me time. So even if we're in an exclusive relationship, like you still have a whole life, right? So
Tina, we're the same person. I just had this conversation. Come on.
Just come in and take over my life. Like I'm not going to stop going to yoga. I'm not going to stop working. Like we have to figure out how to blend, you know, the time together. And I think also exclusive doesn't mean I need to be under you every day. Like, no. Because the thing I fell in love with was the person who didn't even know me. That would be the man I fell in love with.
Yeah.
And that man was he was working, he was spending time with his kids, his grandkids, he's taking care of his parents. He goes to sushi night with the guys, they go to Vegas, like that, whatever was fueling you
Girl, you better teach somebody.
Listen, to present you the way that you was presented to me, and I done
Yeah,
fell in love, baby.
that's who I want.
Keep all that going, cause I need
Yeah.
all of that. That's who I. So I think sometimes in exclusive relationships, you lock into each other,
Yeah.
not realizing that you need to let that man go, because that cigar night, the poker night, those are the things he was doing that drew you to him. Like that was part of his personality. Now
Mhm.
you probably have to cut back some, maybe you can't go as off. Maybe sometimes you tag along, I don't know what that looks like,
Mhm.
but I don't ever want to feel like I have to take a chill time. I want to feel like those times become understood and organic.
Yeah.
Like this weekend I was oh wait, okay, before we go, I have to talk. I have to tell you about my week too. I forgot. I don't want to be in a position where every time I need a break, I got to ask for one. You know what I
Good.
mean? I
Yeah.
really want you to be able to I want us to be able to feed off each other's energy and, and calendar, and just understand, like, oh, like, what you doing? This past weekend I was sick. I wasn't feeling good. I had this cold that I'm trying to, kind of knock off. And I would need a guy to understand, like, drop off the Theraflu tea, juice, maybe bring me lunch or whatever, give me a kiss on the cheek, and then I need you to go. Because I'm probably not going to want you to, stay because I don't feel good. That's me.
Okay.
But that person would know me well enough
Yeah.
to know, like, I'm going to let her sleep for like 4 or 5 hours, and then
Mhm.
I'll text her, or call her. Here's my story. I'm gonna tell it in 6 minutes, because I think that's all the time I should give this story.
Okay.
It's 6 minutes. Met a gentleman randomly sitting at the bar. He comes in. I was on the phone. I get off. I'm like, oh, okay. He's talking, nice guy. I don't know that I paid a whole lot of attention to what he was looking like or whatever, because it didn't feel like that at first. It was like, oh, hey, the game was on. And then the restaurant we were at is connected to the mall. So I needed to go in the mall. I tell him, what I'm doing. He's like, oh, do you mind if I go with you? I'm like, sure, come along. Tags along, run in the mall, hit a few stores, because, I don't like shopping. So I'm
Right.
moving. I'm speed racing.
Yeah.
I know exactly. I got to hit boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I'm,
Yeah.
happened to be leaving the mall, and he asked me to go to the movies.
Okay.
Like, sure. Like, this has been cute. Okay, sure. Go to the movies. I'm laid up, popcorn, laughing, couple of kisses. Good. It was, comfortable, right?
Okay.
Leave there, and kind of really didn't want the night to end because we were having a good time.
Okay.
But I'm feeling a little antsy because the Eagles are playing, and the movies wasn't in my plan, so now I'm like 15 minutes late getting to the game, and so and he was like, "Well, Fridays is right there. Do you want to go watch the game on Fridays?" I'm like, "Yes." Beeline to Fridays.
Okay.
There watching the game. Sitting at the bar. I'm having the time of my life. Boom, boom, boom. Leave there. Great kiss. Like, this is crazy. Like, we've spent like 7 hours together. Like,
Okay.
it was one to exchange numbers. Boom. After that, now it's time to talk. Based on our conversation, there were things that he shared that I knew didn't work for me.
Okay.
One was a health issue.
Okay. We've talked about that.
Well, we talked about that. The money issue wasn't really a thing for me because I don't really care what you make, but he presented the money issue in a way that suggested he wouldn't be able to afford to date me.
Okay.
So instead of dinner, he'd like to take me for coffee instead of taking me out.
Ladies and gentlemen, coffee is not a date. Go on to
No. He wanted to do stuff at his house. He wanted to walk around lakes and picnics, and
nope.
that would have been fine if it was organic.
If we were in a relationship.
It would have been fine if it was organic and I know you were doing because you was broke. Like, that would be different, right? So that was a turn off. He's never been married and doesn't have any children. Those were 2 red flags for me. both his parents are deceased and doesn't seem to really have like a whole relationship with like with his siblings and family.
That's a red flag for me.
That was a red flag. That was
Yep.
a red flag for me.
Because your family don't like you.
And after kind of our second date, it kind of made me feel like I don't know that he's gonna fit in my world.
Yeah.
You know, like I need a man who can go from a suit to you. I just need somebody who just can just flow, you know.
Yep.
And he did. So I very nicely said, thank you so much. You know, I really enjoyed getting to meet you, but I think there's some, you know, things that you shared now that we've been talking that, you know, I think we're the best fit, but I, you know, wish you all the best. And he's a great guy. I think he's a great guy, just
Okay.
not probably the guy for me.
Yep.
Fine. He becomes persistent. And now I'm feeling awkward because I'm like, I don't want to, like, I don't have any bad relationships with any exes, right?
Nope. Either.
We broke up, it didn't work out, bam. But it's your birthday, happy birthday, Merry Christmas. And like, if I run into you and you're even with your girl, like, it's still,
hey, how are you? Yep.
Yeah, so I was just like, it doesn't have to be weird, but he keeps asking me the same question. Well, can we try? And so I said, well, the second date was really, I already did the could we try? And then when I showed up for that date, all he talked about was getting me to the next date. You want to go to the beach? You want to go here? You want to go here? You want to go here? And I was like, so if you're going keeping up with what's happening with Russia, like, what are your thoughts? Right. Election? Like, I'm just
like, how's your steak?
Yeah, like I'm just trying to enjoy this moment, and it never happened. So I finally was like, oh, okay, yeah, like it's not gonna. So I don't think it's a matter of necessarily if the guy is like persistent. It's just like you still have to know what you want and what you don't want. And it's okay. It doesn't make me better. It doesn't make you worse. It just means it's not a good fit. And I think the sooner you see that, you move on. Because let's say I stayed there for like 6 months. I have wasted this man's time. Yeah. Because I'm not interested. Like, sure, I could take you on 6 dinner dates, but why would I do that? I already know that there are these things that you shared that don't work for me. Yep. So we should just part ways now. So
that's the reason that everybody was, oh, the last person you were dating was amazing. The last person I was really dating, not. And he was, but he was clear that he was looking for forever.
Yep.
From the door.
From the first time I met him, he was.
Yep. And I was clear
that you were
not. And that's not going to change. But because I was clear with you and you choose to continue dating me, because you're the one looking for forever.
I'm not.
And we go on this beautiful, amazing.
You've been on a few beautiful, amazing things.
We went on a few. The last beautiful, amazing.
Right.
Was, Erica, you know that I'm looking for forever. You've been clear that you're not. And
somebody said needing companionship is not the same thing as being compatible, right? Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's the same person who asked about maintaining your space. And I'm going to mirror in a way something you said, because I am of the mindset that I have a whole life and you have a whole life. And then we create something together. Like I'm going to have my own circle of friends. You're going to have yours. Like everything doesn't become ours and us because we're exclusive. I still need me. You still need you. And much like you said, I am attracted to that person that has some unavailability, because you've got your own interests, your own passions, your own work, your own family. Like
it makes me feel even more special when you weave me into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, wow, like he didn't stop. He just brought me in. Like, you feel like, oh, you know, like, this is an honor. Like to be.
So red flag is all of a sudden, all you got is time for me. Like, what happened to? Like you said, I was attracted to the person that I did not know.
Because I'm going out with my friends. I'm out here this weekend. Yeah, like
I got stuff to do.
And I want to be specific. it's not really the activity or the friends or the people. It's the fact that something fuels you.
Yes.
Something is feeding you that has
Yep.
created this amazing man
Mhm.
that I like. And whatever that is, I wanted to keep feeding you because I may not have it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I need you to keep getting that whatever because I like this man right here. I like this man right here. And if those
Yep.
are things that it's taken to create that, then yeah, I think breaking up and making up, I think that's toxic.
It is.
I think that there's an adult way to say, you know what, we're not at a good space. Let's sleep on this for 24 hours or 48 hours. Like there are
Mhm.
adult ways to handle things. So
Yep.
the red flags for me would be never been married, no kids,
Mhm.
very clingy and needy.
No, please, please, please say that one again. I can't do that. I
Clingy,
can't do it.
can't. It's too much. It's too much. Someone was a poor planner. Like
No,
the same guy I was telling you about, he asked me to lunch, and we on the text messages 13 times.
no.
You just send me the address in the
Man,
text
it ain't
message.
nothing like getting a link to a reservation. Men, listening. If you
Man,
are, send a link Thursday, 7 o'clock, boom. That's it. We flying on that. Send me the itinerary. Don't ask me a bunch of questions. I'm busy. And if
yeah,
you're asking me out, it's your responsibility to
to take care
facilitate
of
the outing.
So I finally said, listen, meet me here. So I'm already turned off because you can't plan lunch. Like
You
it's
can't
a
plan lunch, but you want me to trust you with me. There you go, William.
Not only that though, you asked me to lunch. I didn't ask you. So I would assume you have some ideas in your head. Pick one and text it. So anyway, I think it doesn't make him wrong.
No,
It doesn't make me
it's
right.
wrong for me.
It's wrong for me.
Yeah.
That's really all it is. And there's nothing I can do to change it because I haven't known you long. So we've been on 3 dates. That was this week. The last one, that was our last one. We went on Tuesday of this week. That was the end of that. So I don't know. I think part of my delay or disappointment in dating is honesty. Like, what do you want? And
What do
why
you want?
just show up with all of it? Like, why can't you just say not only what you want, but what do you bring? Right?
Ooh.
The last guy told me what he wanted. He wanted me, which I thought was silly because you don't know me. But
You don't know me.
whatever. But I let that slide. But it's like, okay, I think I'm a great catch. I know I'm a great catch.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm very giving. I'm compassionate. I'm loving. I'm fun. I'm a daredevil. We can fuck some shit up.
You can describe me.
Like I'm her. So I'm comfortable with me. I need to be comfortable handing me to somebody.
Yes.
Exactly the way, can I trust you with me? So he said, romance is an art that is well thought out with planning and consideration. I don't know who Thames 308 is, but I'm about to find him on the Instagram and see. Dave, are you married? What is your real name?
Right.
He's asking real questions, and I love real questions. So you about to come up with the lines and all that? No.
And I also need to add that with my choice of deciding that I'm going to do this exclusively, people need to understand, like, the people that you've seen in my social media. Excuse me for 1 second. Sorry. If you've seen them, they were temporary fixtures in my life. Like I am very, very private with my real stuff.
You won't see this one.
You won't.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I am a publicist. I am a social media influencer. I am always working, and people forget that. So if you see it, I'm working. So no.
Because I'm the exact opposite. You could call my social media for the last years. I've never posted a man that I've dated.
No, if you've seen them, they had expiration dates.
And they're gone.
And they're gone.
They're gone.
Literally, it was brought to my attention that somebody was still on my Instagram. I had to go and delete them all off today.
And you know that one needed to be gone. Well, you must have just.
Oh my God! When he told me, I got nauseous. I was like, "That's still there?" Oh, so we was on the phone. I put the phone on speaker. Went to IG. It was like, while we were talking.
That wasn't even that. You just forgot about that.
Yeah, I forgot. And that's what I tried to tell us. Oh no, that was somebody I was hanging out with.
Wait, let me ask you this. So, how do you feel about that? Because I would feel some type of way about that.
But someone asked me about my Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. That wasn't a red flag for me. Because we had conversations about relationships, and I omitted that person. So he was checking me. He was like, "Oh, who was that in January?" I was like, "Oh, nothing."
Nothing. God knows that was nothing. Please,
yeah, no, that was not
right now. That's definitely
that was not red flag behavior. That was someone saying, "Oh, you left that out," and I did intentionally.
Right.
Because we need that to be a fragment of everyone's imagination,
including his,
including me. So thank you for bringing it to my attention, because they gone now. Oh Lord,
they've been gone. That was
and you know, it was even sickening seeing the face long enough to delete it. I wish I could have deleted like. So that's where I am. Dating
it's 9:27. So before we conclude, we will sum this up. Erica's off the market. She is in an exclusive relationship with an amazing man that she's going to explore over whatever that definition means for them, and we are extremely excited for the journey. Me, however, I'm very single. I'm looking to mess tonight, but I had to go to yoga, and some stuff happened after yoga, then I had to just come in and jump on. I'm a little cuter than what's up. So don't worry about that part. So yes, I'm on Instagram. You can DM me, and we can try to get to know each other. But make sure you have listened to.
And Tina's in Charlotte. Let's.
I'm in Charlotte.
Okay.
I travel.
Often.
Yeah, often. Yes, I do. So I'm available. But needless to say, it's 9:28. I think this has been a great conversation. I am so excited because literally you have climbed out.
I climbed out.
You have climbed out of this black ditch and left me down here. You didn't even
I'm coming to get you, Tina. I'm coming to get you. We gotta find available friends. I'm looking.
Well, can you be on that tonight?
I'm on it. We'll have a conversation tonight. Yes.
I'm available. I'm ready.
Yeah. I'm so excited. All right, so this has been an awesome conversation on red flags and toxic behavior, and I'm off the market. Like a little kid, I have his hoodie on. I had his hoodie on all day. I'm like,
hoodie? I can't with you.
I had that good old walk of shame this morning. I didn't have to change the clothes. I was like,
yeah, come on, walk of shame. Come on, walk of shame.
It's all good. We will catch you guys again next Sunday, every Sunday at 8:30. And as you can see, we are 60 minutes now because 30 minutes was not enough to allow you all to eavesdrop on a conversation between two good girlfriends talking about what good girlfriends talk about. And it is Date 'em all, sis. May the best man win. We'll see you again next week, right here, 8:30.
Good night.